Okay, we'll start the Dayton Utility Service Board. We'll take a roll call. Mark? Here. Stan? Here. Jan?
Here.
Carla? Here. And Ron, and I'm here, so all present. Attorney Alicia, is she here tonight?
She's not.
Okay. Adjustments to be approved. Really, you want to tell them, or you want me to? We have two adjustments to be approved here for a total of $199.56 for a leak in irrigation. Another one for $554.73 for another leak in irrigation. I'll make a motion to approve these two adjustments of $754.29.
Second.
We got a second by Mark, so take a roll call vote. Mark?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so it passes 5-0. Okay, any public comment for the utility meeting? Nobody wants to stand up and comment? Okay. Council comment? Mark?
That sure seemed like a lot of 56,000 gallons.
Yeah, 4,000 gallon normal bill. You know, they dumped 60,000 gallons.
That's rough.
Yeah,
In their sprinkler system?
something when they, I don't know, it was explained to me, Stan, something when they blew it out, I don't know. Went into all this detail. I'm like, what the total was?
Well, that just seems like more fuel for wanting to get that system, that the automatic reading system could maybe give us an alert and something like that is, you know, 'cause that's a lot. That's all I got.
Stan? June?
Nope.
Carla? I don't have anything, so Jan, it's your meeting.
Okay. Thank you. All right, this is the Dayton Town Council meeting, October 17th, 2023. Ron's taking roll call. So we're going to start with attorney. She's not here, but we have our budget adoption and our ABC resolution for our Dayton land use plan. And then the deadly force policy resolution is not ready, but Scott can still explain that. So we will start with the budget adoption. Which one do you want me to write on? Does it matter?
No, just,
Just choose one and just write
yes,
it out.
that way, you have two, that way.
Yeah. Okay, I move to approve resolution number 2023-20, ordinance or resolution for appropriation and tax rates.
Second.
It's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Mark. Is there any questions or discussion before we vote? How do you vote, Mark?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Carla? And I vote yes, so that's adopted 5-0. And then our land use plan that got adopted by the state and the county, and now it's going to become part of their comprehensive plan. So this will be resolution number 2023-6 is what theirs are, what ours will be 2023-21. So I move to approve, no, dash 12. I move to approve resolution 2023-21 comprehensive plan amendment, Dayton land use plan.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Mark. Is there any comment or questions before we vote? How do you vote, Mark?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Carla? Yes. And I vote yes, that's adopted 5-0. So this next resolution is not ready, but Scott, do you want to explain it?
Care about the training?
No, the deadly force policy resolution. Do you want to explain it now or just when we have it? Doesn't really matter to me.
The state of Indiana and the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board passed a law earlier this year, and they mandated that all law enforcement agencies in the state of Indiana be governed by one lethal force policy. So that policy was created by state of Indiana and the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board was disseminated to all law enforcement agencies, and they are to have it adopted by the first of next year, 2024. So I forwarded that policy to Alicia to create a resolution adding that and replacing it with our current deadly force policy, current U.S. force policy concerning deadly force. So that's what that policy is about.
Cool, thank you. All right, the allowance docket. I move to approve the allowance docket dated 9/1/2023 to 9/30/2023 in the amount of $22,804.40. Is there a second?
Second.
Do it again.
Go ahead.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Ron to approve this allowance docket. Is there any questions or comments before we vote? Okay, how do you vote, Mark?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Carla? And I vote yes, so that's approved 5-0. All right, our claims docket. I move to approve the October 17th, 2023 claims docket in the amount of $123,411.04. Is there a second for that?
Second.
Thank you, Ron. All right, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Ron to approve this claims docket. Is there any questions or comments before we vote? How do you vote, Mark?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Carla? Yes. And I vote yes, that's approved 5-0. These reports, we do have the bank rec done, but I did not get it verified yet, so I'm going to hold off on that until. The minutes. I move to approve the following minutes. September 19th, 2023, public hearing. September 19th, 2023, utility board. September 19th, 2023, town council. And September 28th, 2023, special meeting. Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan. Is there any discussion or questions before we vote? How do you vote, Mark?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Carla? And I vote yes, so those are all approved 5-0. Clerk treasurer, do you have anything? Nate?
I don't have much tonight, except I was going to talk about, we're about 2/3 of the way done with our road construction, expecting them to come in Friday or Monday to do the paving. Some of the ongoing things, we're starting to do a little curb painting. Our sampling station should be going in at the middle of next month. And that's about all I have.
Okay.
When did you say they're starting asphalt? The end of the week?
Friday or Monday. They should be starting.
Along the lines with the road work, so this road work is almost done, but it's almost time to apply for the next round. Well, we have a little time, but before we can apply, we have to get the estimates and all that, so we need to pick out the roads. And BFNS has our PACER rating done, and they're going to get that to us so that we can take that, and that's what shows it's the condition of the roads, and they're all rated, so we know what order to go in. So we just are going to need to pick the roads.
Was there a couple cul-de-sacs got put in the inventory this year?
Yes, and those will be I'm pretty sure the first things that need to be done.
Yeah.
They're on Shady Lane. Those cul-de-sacs have obviously been there for, I don't know how long they've been there, but they've never been
Since 70.
on our list, they've never been listed as our inventory. So now that they are, we can actually get grants for them and we can get them fixed.
It was no fault of the town that they were at fault, it was BFNS, wasn't
Right, I don't know how it wasn't caught before now.
They
But
haven't been on the inventory since we started all this community stuff. They've never been on there. So,
And I think, are there previous council members that lived back there that didn't even notice that they were on there? So, yeah. All right.
council clerks, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And it's like some of them, that other cul-de-sac was on private ground. I mean, all these, they were some were made on private ground and then given over to the town later. So they had to check all that, but they're on the list now.
Yeah, to deal with MVH and all that. Scott, do you want to talk about training requirements?
So the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board was busy last year coming up with new policies and training requirements for all law enforcement agencies in the state of Indiana. At the beginning of this year, we had to pass a resolution to adopt a statewide pursuit policy. Now they are wanting a statewide policy on defensive tactics and physical training. To give you a brief summary, the state mandates that we get 24 hours of training in specific areas. When I say we, all law enforcement officers in the state of Indiana, 24 hours of training a year in different categories. One of those that they are wanting to change is the physical tactics. Prior to 2024, you had to get a minimum of 2 hours training, and that training could be hands-on training, or it could be online training, or it could be lecture, combination of both, of any of it. Now, beginning in 2024, they've doubled the amount of training that you have to have. Now we have to have 4 hours minimum of training per year, and it all has to be hands-on. So during COVID, law enforcement officers and agencies across the state were encouraged to try to continue to keep up their state-mandated training, but to do it in a setting that wasn't hands-on because of COVID restrictions. So everybody went to online training. Well, since things have opened back up, we all got used to doing that stuff online, and it was very easy to do. It's very accessible, and especially for small departments, it was easy to schedule around that and not have miss as many hours on the street. Well, it's not the best training. Obviously, the better training is hands-on with an instructor learning those types of tactics. So they have mandated, starting 2024, not only it has to be hands-on, but it has to be 4 hours minimum per year. And they further mandated that over a 2-year period, within those 4 hours, 14 separate topics have to be covered. These topics range from ground fighting to handcuffing techniques to arm bars and takedowns and pressure points and things like that. But there's 14 different categories. So we have to get those 14 categories covered over a 2-year period. What's that mean for Dayton PD? Obviously, we don't have any instructors on our department, so we rely on other departments to get our training. Namely, the Sheriff's Department has been able to do that. We've got some through the Indiana Marshals Association conference, which we attend yearly, and some of community corrections. I've talked to the Sheriff's Department, and they're aware of the new mandates, and they've got training outlines prepared that they feel will meet the state minimums. And they have graciously allowed us to train with them in the past, and they said that they will continue to offer that training to us free of charge. We just have to attend their classes when we have them. And they generally have a sign-up period that lasts over 3 or 4 days with different types of periods allowed. So it's not like there's a 1-hour training and you have to be at that one. You do have options, so we do have some scheduling options around that. But it's just important for us that when they offer it, we need to attend one of those classes that they're offering so that we're making sure we're getting that 14-point criteria that the state is now mandating. Some departments, I think, are really going to struggle with that. In the previous years, we were able to get that 2 hours at the annual conference that we attend down in Indianapolis. But it remains to be seen if they're going to try to do anything to address that. And I'm talking about the Indiana Marshals Association, which is all small towns like us. But in the event that they don't, there's a backup plan in place, and we should be able to meet those. But it will mean additional training hours, which every additional training hour we have means time away from patrolling the town. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. We try to balance it. We could go to 150 hours, 3 weeks of training a year, but we don't. We try to minimize that. We generally get about 30 to 40 hours of training a year, puts us over the state minimums, but, obviously we'd like to do better than what the state minimum is without being excessive and spending all of our time at training conferences and being away from the town. Any questions on this?
No.
If I may, now that I've got the podium, I would like to, I know Nate, our town manager, was just up here, and I would just like to comment on the job he's been doing and how appreciative I have of him in the job he's been doing. Last week I had an electrical issue that he was able to troubleshoot involving a Duke feed to our building. If he weren't here, we probably would have had to pay somebody like Brand $200 just to find out what the problem was, and it wasn't even our problem. So he was able to identify that. He's replacing faulty lights down at our garage. I've had numerous signs around town that I've had some problems with, need changed and re-erected or whatever, and whenever I ask him to do something, he has it done like yesterday. So he's prompt, does a good job. I don't have to tell him, explain to him what to do. He's smart, intelligent, construction-wise, he knows how to get things done. So I just want to say that he's been doing a good job.
Hey, don't leave. Because next up is the salary ordinance discussion. It's not?
Cool.
Okay.
I sent you all an email with some proposals I have for salaries for my officers. Our full-time deputy marshal is currently at $46,000. I would propose for 2024 he be brought up to $50,000. Our health stipend is currently at $350 a month. I would propose we raise that to $500. Just had a discussion with Evan about his costs, and we're not scratching the surface helping him out. With what he's been able to buy, he's basically got a catastrophic health care plan, includes no health, no dental or vision or anything like that. Increase that would help all the full-time people out. Part-time deputies, currently making $27 an hour. I would propose bringing them up to $30. Our IDAX coordinator currently is paid $15 an hour, and basically we pay her 5 hours every 2 weeks, or $75 per day. I would like to see that raised to $17.50 an hour.
I thought this meeting would be longer, and so we don't need to discuss all of this right now, the salary ordinances, because we have to call another meeting for our grant stuff and our streets. And so we could have another meeting for salary ordinances if you guys are not prepared to discuss all this tonight. I do think I can say easily the IDAX coordinator, that for sure makes sense. Part-time deputies, I would be comfortable going up $1.
So I figured out the percentages on these increases. The marshal salary is 8.6%. The health stipend is 43%. Part-time deputies is 11%, and the IDEC coordinator is 17%.
Cost of living is what, 3.5%? I think that's.
Well, of course, you have to kind of take a look at what happened last year as well, too. And I don't think that the cost of living was completely compensated last year. So some of this can be justified from that standpoint. And the health thing, that's you're kind of at the mercy of whatever the insurance companies are going to have you for on those. I'm not saying that none or any of this could be not be justified, but, I think figure out how those percentages are justified. And they may very well be.
Does anybody else have anything or no?
I think we need to look around and see what other communities of this size are paying these people. We need to keep up and not let the people fall behind. I mean, you hear, a lot of people are struggling, and we don't need our people to be struggling. We need to help them out. And as far as the deputy marshal, I think he's went far and above what we expected him to do when we hired him.
He's done a good job.
He's done an excellent job.
For sure.
I would agree with that. The only thing I would ask you to consider is, we struggled for a year and a half to find Evan, and we never really got any decent applicants. I went out and recruited him based on his situation. And now that he not only has academy, and now that he has 2 years' experience under his belt, not that I believe he intends or plans or he's even dropping any hints, but he's working side by side with people in this county that are making $15,000 more than him. And he could go to any one of those departments tomorrow, and they're all hurting for help. So I'm just saying, I know we don't like to compare ourselves with Purdue and West Lafayette and LTD, but he's not going to leave here to go to Rossville. And I know we can't do the Lafayette. We're a small town, but whatever we can do to help that out and with the health stipend, we appreciate it.
Do you need more part-time deputies?
No.
No. So you're happy with the amount we have now?
Yeah, I am.
I'm just
If
saying.
if we hired more, they would just be not working.
They're happy getting the part-time.
The ones that we're getting have really stepped up this last year and filling for the most part. We've had some gaps, but nothing like we've had in years past.
So,
And having Evan has really solved most of that problem. So the guys that we've had have really stepped in and done a good job. If we had somebody else on the roster, the likelihood that they would be available when I needed them, when somebody else wasn't working, would probably be slim down. Hey, you work there? No, I can't. So, I don't think it would be advantageous to hire another part-time under equipment and outfit and a couple $1,000 worth of equipment.
some money would rather be spent. Maybe kick them about $1 or so.
When they work part-time jobs, and again, I know it's hard to compare, but like when they go work for Purdue ball games and part-time stuff, they get paid $60 an hour. The county doesn't do any part-time work for any civilian security job for less than $60 an hour. That's just like the going rate. So what I'm saying is the guys that we pay for the county to come here and work, they can also work security gigs for some wedding venue, not on a regular basis, but that's what their hourly rate would be. I'm not suggesting they pay $60 an hour. I think
And
a
they
little
would be
bit.
working with you, so
Right.
there's like advantages to Dayton, like you get Michael Taylor, a little less money.
Sure, there's pros and cons.
When they do the Purdue ones, generally, they always request to have that, and you schedule around them, so they don't work out here instead of going to Purdue, right? At least they haven't in the past.
I try to schedule the work, they need to work. There have been times that and Jim's the only one that works both places, and he has worked here instead of working there. And there's been the other way around too, so. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you. Anything else?
For
This agenda item, salary ordinances.
salary.
Is there anything from the public? Comment, question? All right.
still got a lot of concrete to clean up in the front burnable trash. I called a company to see if they can come over with a couple triaxles to get the rest of the concrete back, because they're extremely large pieces, and our truck isn't big enough to handle that. And he's gonna probably come on Friday, I think. He'll call me back, so when we got the backhoe from McAllister, then we can clean all that up. Then we'll just clean all the debris in between the buildings and then rope it off with that rubber orange fence until we get the company to come out and, go through the next steps of everything. So it's cleaning up pretty good. We've taken away a lot of product and everything. So it's just looking a lot better in there. That's
Did you
all.
have a sign? Did you get a sign yet? Back from him?
No, I sent him the picture.
I just probably.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I'll call him.
Is the tree people scheduled for this fall over there?
Yes. Yeah, they were 3 weeks behind or so, so
They will, when they get caught up.
they're gonna do it, yeah, they'll be done this fall, so.
Okay.
They're the cheapest, so I imagine they got a lot of jobs. because of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, we voted to hire them, so I just.
Yeah, and I talked to him, he said, well, it'll be several weeks.
Cool. Was that it for the community center? Town hall?
The town hall looks great.
Ta-da!
It looks
Thanks,
great
ta-da!
out front. I think that everything's done now, all the pieces are on the awnings and stuff, and, we found a couple big pots over at the garden center to slap down there and then throw them up, so we had a pumpkin garden room. And I think it looks fantastic with the street lights, the other canvases are ordered for the winter time, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
And they'll be here.
Banners.
Banners.
The what?
Yeah, the
Banners.
banners.
The banners, yeah. They should be here, and before Thanksgiving, we'll change these out to the Christmas ones up and down the street, usually right around Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving? We're gonna
Around
fight people?
Around Thanksgiving.
Just kidding.
So,
High five, Stan. This was your brainchild. It
Well,
looks amazing.
It was very recently brought to my attention about maybe if we had some electrical outlets out front for maybe some decorations or something for the holidays.
yeah.
We need to look into maybe if Nate could do it, or maybe we have to hire somebody. You said there's a cross space under this that you could
Yeah,
get to the front.
under the front half here.
And
Now,
I think Nate could probably, he can get under there and put them in.
you have to drill through the brick out there, but that's something that, a good handyman could do.
Yeah. I'll sit on the benches and wait for it, and I'll feed them the
And,
water.
then it would be nice to have something to
Yeah,
look
that'd
out
be
there
great.
in the sun, and then holidays or whatever.
Christmas trees out
Yeah.
there. That'd be-
a giant inflatable Santa right out there.
So there's one security camera that's up over here. Was there one over on the
Yes.
other
Yeah,
corner
it
as
was
well?
in the way, so we
Yeah.
removed it. It's easy, and we'll decide whether to put it underneath, aim down on all this, or put it up on top, or what to do with it.
Okay.
Is the one over here left, it's still above? It was above.
Yeah.
It's above.
Yeah. But this one aimed hang on, this one aimed all the way down to the post office, which is nice, but yeah, Scott.
I think we need to try putting them both underneath the awnings, because
Okay.
we're not getting any view of the sidewalk, so if somebody walks up the sidewalk,
Right,
there's
right. Yeah.
anything to the building, we're not gonna touch it.
And I think Nate, you could probably do that, it's screwing on those rings.
It's just, he's gonna have, we did buy the hammer drill, right? For the town?
I think so. We get that yet, Nate, the hammer drill?
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yeah, we got
Yes.
it.
So, yeah, all he has to do is put a small hole through there.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's good underneath that. I like the idea of the lights, that's good.
All right, is that your town hall?
Yep.
Thanks for doing all that work. You're a good
You
man.
did a really
Charlie
lot
Brown.
of work on it, Ron.
You did.
Digging all that out, yeah.
My favorite is at night, by the way.
Yeah.
The lights at
Oh,
night.
yeah.
Oh, this is so good.
I got another question. Our existing telephone pole and light, are we scheduled to get that taken out?
Yeah, they're gonna take the light off, and then we'll cut the pole. We have an electrical box 4 foot up there, so Dave and I were talking, just cut it off right above that, so that we don't have to pull it and reset a pole or anything.
Right.
Leave behind the arborvitae, but the pole's gone, it'll be gone.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Anything else?
But yeah, the lights out really, really.
So
nice.
good.
I mean, we know it's in the future that if we got them on the other side in front of the
Yeah,
community
once we
center,
do the community
this
center.
would really, and then we are looking for more grants that maybe we can get more of them in town.
Yeah.
And it would really enhance this whole street through
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Like at the edges of town when you come in, when we get new signs and have the same poles.
Well, yeah,
The whole-
Yeah.
We'll get as many as we can with the grant money comes. Yeah, sure, both sides and, do all the
All right, was that it for town hall? Okay. Baker Farms Access Road, I don't really think we have an update on that, do we? I left it on there just in case something came in, but we don't really have an update. The server update.
just, let's back up on the Baker Farm.
Okay.
We did get the, engineering firm's estimate to do all that, or are they scheduled to do it, or what's the deal on that?
I think it's still, I haven't heard back from Alicia.
Yeah, Lisa was looking at everything and, let us know.
Where we have the independent
Right.
engineering firm going to verify, like, okay,
Yes.
it's still in the works.
Yes.
She's supposed to give us the okay to just go ahead and hire him.
So the server, Mark said, I'm waiting for the HPE server chassis and the Microsoft Windows software to arrive. They have been shipped and I should receive them by early next week. So this week. We'll get the new server built and software installed and then set a date for installation, hopefully by October 20th. I don't know yet. But it's on its way. Yeah. All right, we are to public comment. We welcome public comment. We do ask that you go to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes for your comment. Is there any public comment? All right, council comment. Mark?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention again on the budget, I looked up the past years, and the budget in '23, this is the city tax. So this is the city tax that gets applied to your assessed values on your property. And in '23, the rate had dropped by 7.5%. And so in '24, the one that we just passed tonight, that rate has dropped an additional 6.1%. So for the last 3 years, the city tax rate has dropped a considerable amount for the last 3 years, and still been able to do quite a bit of things for the town. And there's, as you said, there's quite a bit more money in the bank account too. So it looks like things are.
And lower the utilities, do a lot of things for the town.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Was that it, Mark?
That's it.
Thank you. Stan, do you have anything?
No.
Carla? Anyone else?
I forgot to say on the town hall building here, we do need to still, the one thing we still have to do is get like 3 lights that hang off the building on that side. It sort of look like along the liquor store, they curve down with a bell on it, they'll match
That
these.
match beautiful.
But I'm gonna go to Kirby Risk, they should have them locally. And then, but they'll add something to that side, it'll look nice as you come down the
Yes.
streets.
I do have something.
What?
To back to the building. We talked about handrails out here, and guess we haven't got to that point.
I was just telling Ron the other day, I wonder if we could go to We Engineering and ask them to fix us up something that,
Or the ones, I saw the ones on, Amazon that, for a pair of them, I don't know, we'd have to look. They're about $85 for a pair of them that just fasten to the building and come down. I mean, if that's something we wanna pursue.
If they're the right stuff, yeah, you know, get a picture of them and stuff. Were they on the corners? I forget.
Right on the corners.
Yeah.
And they were just like a loop that came out and then down and back up, so that you would have a handrail on either side.
how far do they stick out?
About 28 inches.
How big is our step? So what do you know? How big the step is?
I mean, it looks like it would be 28 inches when you walk up there to make your first step. You could grab the handrail without ever making the first step.
Yeah, because there's two steps that are probably 14 inches each one, or 12 inches.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it goes out a little bit, yeah.
So you're saying
I was
the
thinking-
overall length of this thing is
28 inches.
28 inches, okay.
Where the loop bubbles out from the side,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, they start out straight and then they go down, got a loop, come up and come back to the building. And they fasten right on the corner of the brick.
Well, there wouldn't be anything on the inside.
No,
Because before we were talking about it, we talked about
bringing it
a
all the way
handle
up.
there so that like they're holding the handle while opening the door.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking, like a
wrap
wraparound or like a,
Well, that,
or maybe something that fastens inside and goes down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and if you're gonna do that, I think you need to do like what was done over at the post office. That needs to be bored down into the ground and be put in that way, because the ones that you can just screw right onto the cement, it will not last. It will not last.
So maybe like it hooks to the cement on the inside, then wraps around, and then comes down to the,
I thought you were talking about one that's right in the center of it.
No, he's talking about, Mark's talking about it, a post goes down to the ground, that should go down in, be bored into the concrete or the pavement.
Yeah.
No, what Stan's talking about is just up hanging off the building.
Off the side of the building, right.
Coming down.
No, they have 4 lag screws holding to the brick. 2 on the one corner, 2 on the out corner.
I hadn't seen, but I don't think this is 28 inches here, is it?
It would be 28 inches out from the
from the
front,
corner.
from the
The steps that go
outer
out front.
corner.
I have to see.
What?
Yeah.
Fair.
We do need those, but yeah. Okay. Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, so close. Did you see that? I was right there, you guys.
Carla, down the road, across from, just so everybody knows, across from Baker's farm, when the farmer was plowing the field, it ran over a hydrant. So Nate and I looked at it, we called Scotty, did a report on it, checking with the farmer. So just so you know, there's something coming up there. Okay? That's it.
Sure. Okay, having no other business before us, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.